Just an hour ago, we had an attack. We learned from the NYSC that they've had some kind of denial of service attack on their website. Over the weekend, a former Goldman Sachs computer programmer accused of stealing proprietary trading code in a heist that could cost the bank millions of dollars. And then dozens of government websites, including the White House and the Treasury Department, shut down in a cyber attack that may have been engineered by North Korea. That same attack targeting both the NYSC and the NASDAQ that we were just telling you about. Just how vulnerable are we? What can we do about it? Howard Schmidt is former cybersecurity advisor to President Bush, as well as to eBay and Microsoft. He's now president and CEO of Information Security Forum. Roger Cressy, also formerly at the White House, is now NBC security analyst and president of Good Harbor Consulting. Howard, let me start with you. How serious is this situation when we hear all of these sites being attacked?
Well, this is serious because what this has done is escalated something we see taking place on a day-to-day basis. You know, most sites can withstand the denial of service attacks that they normally take. But to be able to have it to be such a magnitude and affect these major sites, that's a major escalation of the attacks against systems.
Roger, it was about a month ago the president announced he was going to appoint a cybersecurity czar. Maybe they had wind of it at that time. Realistically, what could the government do to try and prevent these attacks?
Well, the short answer is not much, because as Howard said, government networks are constantly under the threat of attack. Botnets are attacking on a daily basis. The real issue is what is the resiliency of the networks and whether any critical functions were compromised. So if the Department of Transportation's website is taken down, that's unfortunate. But if the FAA and the air traffic control network is being targeted, that's far more serious. So what we're seeing right now is predominantly nuisance at the government level, but that doesn't mean the threat is not serious.
I was going to say, Howard, if they can do this to websites, can they take that next step that Roger's talking about and really start to affect the major executions that they have to complete?
Well, that's always a possibility, but it's very, very difficult in these set of circumstances because as we do a better job about hardening the systems themselves, protecting them against people breaking into them, what happens is the bad guys fall back and say, okay, we can't break in, so what we'll do is we'll deny access to it and create a major traffic jam just so you can't use those services.
Are they just toying with us right now, Roger, just to let us know that they're there and they could do more damage? I mean, is that what's going on here? Right now we're just calling this a nuisance.
Right. Well, the big question is, who is it? And if it's a state being involved here, then certainly that's far more significant. If it's a group of individuals, even individuals are sophisticated enough to put together these type of botnets to drop access to websites, that is problematic. But what you really worry about are state-level actors at this point.
We
don't know who it is.
We should point out that the analysts in South Korea and the South Korean government was also hit in this attack. Their analysis seems to suggest that it is people either connected with North Korean government or people in the North Korean government right now.
Right. We've seen the reports from South Korean intelligence that it's a potential North Korean sympathizers, which always strikes me as a bit of an oxymoron.
Right.
But until we get confirmation from our government that there might have been someone like the North Koreans or someone similar involved, we only got one source of data here. I think the bigger issue, as Howard said, is how do we harden our systems and ensure whoever does attack them ultimately fails in those attacks.
I'll bet Howard and Roger would argue that companies should call them for advice.
You bet. That would be a good start right there. Thanks, guys.
Join ISF.
Yeah. See you later, Howard and Roger.